Welcome everybody. Welcome to this lecture where I would like to present a paper which is called MobilePay versus SWIP, Main Insights from a Nordic Country for Mobile Payment Apps. What is it all about? Like a mobile payment app is an app which is downloaded by private persons, private customers, and this mobile payment app can be used to transfer money among private agents, but it's also possible to pay bills at a shop, at a supermarket, or at other institutions where you have to transfer money. It's pretty easy to use, like you have to type in the amount of money you want to transfer, as well as a telephone number, and then you are able to transfer the money to the other person. As I mentioned, the title of the paper is Mobile Payment versus SWIP, Main Insights from a Nordic Country for Mobile Payment Apps, but it also has a subtitle which is called Oh No, Not My Baby. So let's have a look and have a look at what the setting was in the beginning. We are talking about the Danish banking market, and there one very large bank like Danske Bank cooperated with other banks, and they developed some new software packages in order to facilitate online banking and mobile banking. But suddenly in 2013, the Danske Bank terminated this cooperation, and Danske Bank came up with its own app, which is called MobilePay, developed by the Danske Bank. You can see here that the download numbers increased significantly over time, so this was really a success. The other banks were surprised by this initial move, but they were able to fight back. A few months later, they were able to launch their own product, which was called SWIP, but this product was not a success at all. A few years later, it was the case that the SWIP product was abolished, so SWIP today is resting in peace, while the only winner seemed to be the Danske Bank with its payment app, which is called MobilePay. Like all the other different banks, they also jumped to this product, and these banks are now offering their customers also the services of mobile payment. As I mentioned already, the app is very successful when we measure success in terms of downloads of private customers. But also a lot of shops are using mobile payment. For example, here we are on a flea market, and the person who is selling some stuff is not always present at the stand, but here you have the telephone number of the person, and prices are printed on all the different items. So in case that you are a customer and you want to buy something, you can transfer the money to the shop owner without contacting and having a conversation with the shop owner. You just pay and you take the item you would like to have. Also, when you are in the forest and you have to cut your Christmas tree, you can pay your Christmas tree by using the mobile payment app. Also, some homeless people, they don't accept anymore that you have no coins. They are just waving their sign with their mobile payment app so that you can also transfer money to homeless people. This indicates that the mobile payment app MobilePay is not only successful by private customers, private households, but also very successful on the sides of the companies. Like you can pay in supermarkets, you can pay in different shops. This is also very much accepted from the companies. This example highlights that more or less we are dealing with a two-sided market. On the one hand side, we have the private households which have to make a payment, and on the other hand side of the market, we have the companies which want to receive payments from the private agents. And both sides of the market, they accept the mobile payment app. Let's have a look into the technology of the two different mobile payment apps. Let's have a look at the technology behind the MobilePay product, and let's have a look into the technology of the SWIP product. MobilePay uses a business model pattern which is called open as a business model. The MobilePay app is not only used by customers which have their account at the Danske Bank, but all the Danish people which have a so-called Dan card can use their Dan card issued, for example, by the Land Agricultural Bank or by Nordea or by a regional bank. Like all the different customers which have their account at each and every bank, they are able to use the mobile payment app. How is the technology used? Like after you have downloaded the app, you have to link your app with your so-called Dan card, which is comparable to an EC card in Germany. And therefore, it is the case that the company which is issuing the Dan card, the company Nets, is a central part of the value chain and gets also some part of the money generated in the overall process. How does the SWIP product work? It is the case that here there is no intermediate between the two customers who wants to transfer or receive money. It is a case that here money is transferred directly from account to account, and the SWIP product is only available to those banks which belong to this group of banks here. For example, the customer of the Danske Bank, they cannot use SWIP. So this is an important difference between these two products. MobilePay uses the business model pattern open as the business model, and SWIP uses the business model pattern closed as a business model pattern. The Nets company is a company which is issuing these Dan cards, and therefore the Nets company is providing a central. Therefore, the Nets company is providing a central element of the value chain. So Nets company is able to control a valuable item of the value chain and is able to charge for each and every transaction. So when one private person is sending money to another private person, this occurs at no cost. So neither the person who is sending the money nor the person who is receiving the money has to pay a fee. But the banks which are involved in this transaction, they have to pay a fee to the Nets company because the banks are relying on the Dan card system. Therefore, it is the case that the winner is not MobilePay or the Danske Bank. The winner seems to be the Nets company. In the year 2017, MobilePay tried to get into the supermarkets. They tried to get into the supermarkets because there not C2C transactions are performed, but B2C transactions are performed. And MobilePay thought that they could charge a small fee to the supermarket for these transactions. They wanted to charge the B side of the market. But in the supermarkets, there is already one company available, which is the Nets company. The Nets company which is issuing the Dan card. And of course, they didn't like to have another competitor in the supermarket, and therefore they launched a so-called mobile Dan card app. And this mobile Dan card app works in a way that you can pay with your mobile phone. Like the mobile phone is always sending a signal to the system, and then you just have to put the mobile phone on the terminal and you can pay in this way. So the Nets company is fighting back and doesn't want to have a competitor in the system. In 2017, the landscape changed tremendously because of the fact that in 2017, Apple Pay and Google Pay entered the market. In a first step, Danske Bank tried to get Apple Pay and Google Pay out of the market. They did not open their account for the new entrants. But the other banks, which do not own MobilePay, they were not reluctant to let Apple in. They said, MobilePay? Oh no, that's not my baby. That's not our baby. It's a baby of the Danske Bank. And therefore, they opened the door to Apple Pay. They opened the door to the Danish banking market for this new companies. What do we learn? Danske Bank was able to create a very What did we learn? Danske Bank was able to create a very successful app which is called MobilePay. This app was very successful when it comes to private customers downloading this app, but also a lot of shops are accepting mobile payment as a form of payment. Despite the fact that this app is so successful, it's not the Danske Bank which is able to generate the profit, but it is leading to a loss for the Danske Bank, because with each and every private transaction, it is the case that the Danske Bank has to pay a fee to the Nets company, which is providing a central element of the value chain. Hence, we have learned that nicht jede Kuh lässt sich melken. So, despite the fact that the Danske Bank believes that they have a cash cow here, it's impossible to get the milk and to get the profit in the end. What are the managerial implications for the Danske Bank? They could, for example, charge for C2C transactions a little fee. Another managerial implication could be to change the underlying technology. Like the SWIP company has the better technology because of the fact that it's a technology which is transferring money from account to account. And this technology does not rely on the Nets company. Another managerial implication could be that the Danske Bank should get out of the market and should abolish the development of the mobile payment app. What are the policy implications for other national banking sectors? For example, what are the policy implications for the German banking sector? First policy implication is get it right. Choose the right underlying technology, which implies that an account-to-account transaction seems to be better compared to a situation where a third party is in between. Furthermore, it seems to be very important to cooperate. Like a cooperation has to go on because of the fact that the German banking market is so fragmented. it is the case that all the different players have to develop one single app and they have to stick to it. The German market is not large enough to provide the service for more than one banking app. This is the end of our story. This is the end of the paper Mobile Payment versus Web, Main Insights from a Nordic Country for Mobile Payment Apps, with the subtitle, "Oh no, not my baby." Thank you very much for attending this lecture. Have a nice day. Bye bye.